everybody, welcome to Bones Collector. Today on Bones Collector we're continuing our series where Lori and I are playing our way through our board gaming library. The reason why we're doing this, of course, is to show you up close and personal the mechanics and what the game looks like physically on the table. In the top 10 videos and top 100 videos that we do, we only talk about each game in a few brief sentences, and it's very difficult for the viewer to understand what that game is about. So I'm hoping that by doing this, you will have a clearer picture actually on how the game plays and what it looks like and whether you would like it or not, because ultimately that's why you're watching, right? So we're going to play a couple of games each week and make a video about it and pass it on to you, and I hope you enjoy them. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Bones Collector, and today Lori and I just got done playing Scythe. And Scythe is a game that came out in 2016. It's designed by Jamie Stegmaier, and the art is by Jacob Rozalski. And I always mention the artist if the art is exceptional, and in this game it is, in my opinion. I love the art, and I love the theme in this game. This is one of the reasons why it's so attractive to me. It's 1 to 5 players, so there is a solo variant in here. This gives a game of endgame bonuses, variable player powers, so each one of these characters in the game has a special little power that you get to use while you're playing the game. There's grid movement going on and area control. And before I start, let's talk a little bit about the production of this game. Stonemaier games are always outstanding in their production. I mean, this is very, very nice. It's this collector's edition thing. And so it's got metal money, and most money wins the game, by the way. Sorry about that. Yeah, the winning condition is most money at the end of the game. So we have these metal coins and everything. You get all these plastic pieces, these characters that are kind of cool. The sculpts are very nice. Double layer player boards, linen cards for everything. The resources themselves. Let's see, we got oil barrels, we got grain bags, we got silver bars, and some kind of log there. So those are, you can hear them, they're chunky pieces, very nice. And all the other pieces that are on your player board are wooden, so that's very nice. And then everything else is thick. I mean, like your battle meter here is very thick and nice. The mechs have a nice little container that holds the characters and the mechs, and this box is very thick, it's very nice. And if I had any complaint at all about the production of this game, it's the same one I'm always going to have. It's that, why didn't you just paint these things and give them to the people painted? Same with the mechs. It just would make the game that much more attractive. But I'm the only person out there screaming about it, so it's probably never going to happen. I just can't stand these gray plastic things. It just does nothing for the game, in my opinion. And I wish they would just offer them as a painted package. You know, when you run the Kickstarter, if you want painted minis in your game, you pay this. Well, I will pay that. So I would just wish they would offer that. And maybe they would even consider kickstarting that item again. Maybe, you know, Jamie, if you see this video, run a Kickstarter with painted minis and painted mechs for the game, and I'll throw these in the trash and take the ones that you send me that are painted, and my game will be in living color, and I would really, really like that. So there, enough about that. So you're going to start out with 6 of these stars on your player board, and you have different objectives that you're going to have to complete and place them on this triumph track up here when you do complete them. Once the 6th star is placed, the game ends immediately, and you add up all of your money from this track and how you score it, the money you acquired during the game, the end game bonus track here, you add that money up, and the person with the most money is going to win the game. And there's dollars also for resources that you have left over on the board. So that's how this game is played. And if you've played My Little Scythe, it's just like it. A little bit more complexity, a little bit more going on, but My Little Scythe is very similar to this. And we had My Little Scythe for a while, and I tell you, I liked that game. It had the cute factor going on. Those little critters that were in that game were very cute, but they weren't painted either. You'd have to paint them yourself. So okay. So anyways, enough about that. So you're going to move your heart up this popularity track, and at the end of the game, whatever region you've reached here on this popularity track is going to determine how many dollars you get for 3 different things. How many dollars you get for stars that you completed, how many dollars you get for territories that you control, and how many dollars you get for the resources that you have left over. And those are the 3 end game bonuses, so you're continually trying to juggle that. But that's the way this game is played. And the bulk of it is done right here on your player board, where you're going to have this pawn, and you're going to have 4 sections on your player board, and you're going to choose one of those sections, place your pawn on it, and that's going to be your action selection. And there's a top action and a bottom action. And at the beginning of the game, of course, you're only going to be able to do the top action because you have none of the resources that you need to do the bottom action. So as the game goes on, though, those become opened up for you. And there's just different things you can do in this game, and listing and building structures on the board. There's also an end game bonus card here that's going to be in every game, and it is going to tell you that you get extra points. In this case, when you build a structure, if you put it on a tunnel territory, you're going to get some bonus money at the end of the game, and it tells you the amount of structures that you have on tunnel territories and how much money you get. And these, we get like 6 or 8 of these, so maybe more.
They're over there.
Where are they? This the whole pile?
Yeah.
Okay, and the game comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these tiles. And you just play with a new one each time you play. Gives the game some variability, and that's really nice. Then you also have some combat in this game, and you've got a combat wheel where you're going to wage some of your power off this track here, and you can use combat cards to bolster that. And the combat is one of the objectives that you want to fulfill for the triumph track. You have to win 1 combat. One of the characters allows you to do more than that. Oh, excuse me. You can win 2 combats on the triumph track. But that's one of the things you can do. And the other stars is getting to the top of this power track, getting to the top of the popularity track, which I've never done. That's the 1 star I've never.
Me neither.
Never completed. And the rest of them I think I've done at one time or another. And we played this game 4 times in a row. We just got done playing this game 4 times in a row. So I just never, I don't know, you have to expend some of that popularity to make things happen in certain situations on this in this game, and so it's, I don't know, it's really hard to get back up to that.
Tough one.
And I mean, if you can get to the top tier, which pays you the highest money, you're doing pretty good. But to get to that number 18 spot, man, I don't know. I'd have to absolutely concentrate on moving that popularity marker up in order to make that happen, and just at the sake of everything else, no matter whether, even if it was going to cost me the game, because I just don't know if that's possible. But you have certain movement restrictions having to do with going across rivers and lakes, and you uncover those powers off your board here when you're deploying mechs, and you are upgrading on your player board, pulling cubes down from the top, putting them on the bottom, covering up requirements to do those actions so that they become a little bit easier. And then you can enlist, or off your player board here, you have these recruits that you can enlist, and you're going to enlist this recruit, and right away that recruit is so nice that they're going to give you as bonus. You got 4 things you can cover up here, get 2 power, 2 money, 2 popularity, or 2 combat cards. So when you recruit these guys, you can cover up these pieces over here, and once you get all 4 of those recruited, that's one of the stars. So there's just completing those stars and getting them up there is important, and you only have 6 of them, but there's more things than 6 things to do. So you have to kind of choose your direction, choose the things you want to do. Don't try and do every one of those things, or you're going to end up spreading yourself too thin and not being able to do very well in the game. But that's Scythe, and I really, really enjoy it. Lori and I have enjoyed playing it. I think the first couple of times we played it took us a full 90 minutes. The last time was less than an hour, wasn't it? This 4th time?
The 3rd time was like an hour and 5 minutes,
yeah.
And the 4th time was just under an hour.
Just under an hour.
Yeah.
So the more you play it, the more you're going to be able to speed the game up, and it's going to flow a little quicker for you. It has some nice player aids with it that sit by each player, and I forgot to mention there's also a deck of objective cards where you're going to complete one of those objectives, and that's one of your stars that you want to place. And there's the encounter cards. These encounter cards, a whole deck of them, and you see these tokens on the board. You have to move your character to that space in order to take that token and get an encounter card, and this will give you a little bonus. There's like 3 different things you can do on each card, and you get to choose which one you want to do. But your character has to do that. And then the factory space in the middle is worth 3 territories in the end game bonus. So if you happen to control that territory, there's 3 territories right there, times whatever money tier you happen to be on. So it's pretty important to get that middle territory, the factory. And when you go to the factory also with your character, you can get one of these factory cards, which gives you an extra space on your player board. You have 4, you're going to have 5 if you get one of those, and they come in handy. So you need to get your character up there and get one of those. The first one there gets to look at all 3 of them, choose one, and put the other 2 back, and then, I'm talking about a 2-player game. There's always one more than the number of players, and then, of course, the second player will only get to choose from 2. But I enjoy this game. I enjoy the theme of it. It's an alternate universe 1920s, so these are not high-tech mechs. These are just clunky, steaming hunks of junk, that are around in the farmlands, and they're protecting their territories and their farmers and their faction of people, and you are trying to interfere with that a little bit with each other in this game. You do a little bit of combat in this game, and it's not bad though, and you get something for it. If you get sent back to your base, which I did, Lori beat me, and I had to, I think I moved 2 mechs and workers back to base camp. Now when that happens, the winner would lose a popularity for every one of the workers that went back to the base camp, and then the loser also gets a combat card. And then the winner gets any resources that happen to have been in that territory. If she won this territory from me, she would get my 2 wood in this territory and take control of that territory. And a combat victory star. That's right, when you win a combat, you're going to place a victory star on the triumph track. Those are the things you're going to be doing inside. And it is fun. The board is quite large, and in this particular edition it has another piece of a board. You can flip this over and the hexes are huge, and it makes the board like this much bigger, which I would never use that thing.
Well, it hangs off the mat even.
Yeah, I think that thing is huge. I wouldn't even mind this board being smaller if it could been shrunk down a little bit, but yeah, I mean, we had this game
in
a couple years ago.
2017, I think.
Was it? It came out in 16, and I thought we got it the same year. I think we did.
We played it once in 17 and once in 19.
Okay, so sounds like we got it in 17, and we had bought the expansion that gave you the other 2 factions because you don't have the green player and you don't have
Purple.
Purple? This purple player. So these factions are not in this game, and they're not in the retail unit. So we bought that expansion that gave you those 2 factions because Lori likes to play with green. So that's why we did it. And I play yellow, and yellow comes in the base game. So we bought that faction so she could use green, and then we ended up selling the game. But after thinking about it a little while longer and playing a lot of more board games, I decided I was going to try and get this one back. So I decided to get the Scythe back, and this is the collector's edition. It was the only one I could find for a decent price, actually, and that's why we ended up with it. And it's a numbered copy thing, 6,168 out of 11,320. So it's very rare. But I love, you see how these mechs are like steaming? I mean, this is 1920s, so you don't have all that technology that we have today. They're not Star Wars, Imperial Walkers, or anything like that. So I really like the theme of this game, and you see these people out farming and stuff being protected by their particular mechs, and that's a lot of fun to think about. And I like that universe. So Jamie, I played, we used to own Viticulture, we used to own Tapestry, and Euphoria. I did not care for Euphoria. Tapestry was good, but Lori didn't care for it all that much, so hey, you know what? If both of us don't love a game, it's out. So we sold that game, and then Viticulture, we liked quite a bit. I love the theme to bits in Viticulture. I liked the game a lot, but there was just something about it at the end of the game I didn't care for, and so we ended up selling that, and now we've got Scythe, and I think this is Jamie Stegmaier's best design and best production, and all things considered, a wonderful board gaming experience. I'm going to tell you about it, and that's Scythe, ladies and gentlemen, by Jamie Stegmaier. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the Bones Collector, and today Lori and I just got done running through Ascension Tactics, and we played it 4 times in a row and had a great time playing it. This is a game that we played at a convention. Was the first time at Dice Tower?
Yes. They taught us.
Yeah, they had a booth, whoever this is, Ultra Pro Entertainment, Stoneblade Entertainment, had a booth there, and they had a guy there that was selling these games, and he taught us the game. Now, we have played Ascension. If you've played Ascension, the deck building game, you'll be able to play this game. And we really like Ascension. I played this with my grandson, a couple of my grandsons, and they like it. And so I enjoyed that, and when I was curious about this game, when I realized, it was Ascension, and because we really enjoyed Ascension, and I wanted to know if this game was any good. Now, Ascension, the deck building game, came out in 2010. This game just came out in 2022. It's designed by Justin Gary and Ryan Sutherland. Hey, my hat's off to them. Good game. Publisher is Stoneblade, and I'll tell you why that's important in a minute. It's a deck building skirmish game, and the winning condition is varying totals of honor. And that's these jewels here. If you played Ascension, you're familiar with the honor crystals that you earn during the game. And it depends on the scenario that you're playing as to how many honor you have to acquire in order to be declared the victor. But first I'm going to talk about the production of the game. And this says Ascension Tactics, a miniature deck building game. There is a Kickstarter version of this. It has great big plastic pieces in it, which I hate, and a great big box, which I hate. I'm so thankful for Stoneblade for doing this with standees that can keep the box at a reasonable size where I don't feel bad about keeping it in my house. I enjoy this production of this game that they put out this year, and I'm so thankful that they did a standee version. And it's got an insert in the box here, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to put all this away, and at the end of the video I'll put a picture up on the screen, maybe Lori will put it up on the screen, but a picture of everything goes in here. It just fits perfectly. This insert, I couldn't think of the word. This insert is perfect for everything, and it all fits in there. I really enjoy that. It makes playing the game so much easier, all the tokens and everything. Okay, it's got a map on the back of the scenario book that shows you how to put everything in the box, but I'll put it in there and show you what it looks like. But this game is such a good deal right now. I mean, we bought it at the convention for $50, and we got this stuffed cultist doll with it, and I gave it to my grandson. And then they gave us enough Ascension Tactics sleeves to sleeve the whole game. So I just felt like that was just a terrific deal. But you know what? At Cool Stuff, you can get this for $42.99 or
$43.49.
$43.49 right now, and that is a great deal. There's a lot in this box. You certainly don't need a bunch of unpainted gray plastic toys. I mean, these standees are in full color. They depict the monster or the heroes on them in beautiful living color rather than all gray, and I really enjoy that. And this game, I'm not going to explain everything about it. I'm just going to kind of assume you know how to play Ascension. It's a deck building game where you have a market row. You're going to be purchasing those cards with runes that you acquire. You start out with a 10-card deck that has some runes in it, and then you can acquire more cards that have runes on them to give you more buying power. And there's another form of currency in here called command, and that's the red crossed swords on the shield, and that command can also purchase some of the cards. There's some monsters that you can acquire if you have enough command. This took 8 command to acquire it, and it's the champion. And this thing is a beast, man. It had 12 attack and 12 shields on it, man. I couldn't believe it. I had enough command to pick that up early, and that really helped me with this game. Now, in this game, you also get a scenario book, and in here, there's so many scenarios. We've played the first 4 of them. Yeah, we've played Battle, three Shrines. We did that 2 or 3 times just to get a feel for the game. And then we played the Warlocks, we played Into the Void, and we played the Stone Circle. And that's one we just finished, and this thing was awesome. It just a lot of fun because you can only have one champion in this area on the board, and in order to gain honor, you have to be right next to that honor shrine, and you can only have, like I say, one hero in here per player. So Lori had to have, she had her champion in there, and then you battle back and forth, sending those champions back and bringing them back out and trying to flip over these beacons so you have 6 of these beacons on the board, and if you have at least 3 of them in your control, you also get 1 honor. And if you have 4, you get 2 honor, and 5, you get 3 honor, and so forth. And 6, you get 4 honor if you can control all 6 of them. Which, did I manage to do that? No,
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
No,
No, I think I had controlled 5 of them.
I got
But-
4 and you had 5.
So, and that was this scenario, and there's so many different scenarios in here, and it just changes up the rules to the game. I'm telling you, I didn't expect to like this game. I really do like it. You do battle in this game, so you have to put on a little bit of a thick skin. But here's the deal, and here's why I really like this game. When you are, one of your champions is out here, and somebody defeats your champion, they come right back to their card, and the very next turn you can put them right back out on the portal. You just have to have enough command, because they have certain command requirements, and once you do that, right back out they come. You can run around the board and do whatever you want to. So, I mean, it's not like it's, hey, take that, your guy's dead for the whole game. No, it doesn't work like that. You can bring them right back out, and I really, really love that about this game. The rule book is excellent. It tells you everything about the keywords that you need to know. We had very few questions when we played this game, and usually these games have a ton of questions. But this one in particular, they did just such a great job. And it could be also that we've played Ascension. I think that helped out a little bit. We knew how to deck build in Ascension, the card game, and had a great time doing that. But man, I want to tell you about it. This game is so much fun. There's so much you can do in here. That scenario book is just so incredible, because I think it's got like 11 or 12 scenarios, and then there's a campaign after all the scenarios are listed, a campaign that you can do. Yeah, campaign introduction. So you got a campaign you can do in this game, and it'll also, when you, not only explains the setup of the board, but it has suggested rosters at the bottom, which we used every time. You can draft your champions if you want to. We're not that savvy at the game, and not that savvy with card games in particular, but it gives you suggested rosters, so you use those champions and play the game. We had fun. I mean, the one game we played today, Lori beat me by bad 20 some honor. I think you only had to have,
You had to have 30 in the first one.
Oh, I had 12 or 13 honor, and you had 30 already. I don't know how she killed me in that game. But for the most part, the games will be close. And
This game we were only apart by 7.
Yeah.
You won by 7 points.
yeah, we're only 7 honor apart in this game, so that was a lot closer. And you just have to learn how to use these cards, and that's the fun in this game. Really, it has a lot of depth to it, because not only are you deck building like you are in Ascension, and you have constructs you can attach to your champions, and that's pretty cool. And which you could do with that also in Ascension, but your heroes come alive because they're on these standees, and you can put them on the board. Go out on the board and do whatever objectives are going to earn you honor within the rules of that scenario. And it's just a lot of fun. I didn't expect to like it, like I say, and I ended up liking it a lot. So much about it. I love the production. I love the fact that they're standees and not gray plastic toys. And I love the art on the cards. There's nothing really that's going to scare children or anything. I mean, there are some images that, like this guy's got 6 arms, that kind of stuff, but there's no blood and guts, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And for the most part, this is very manageable, or very approachable, even for younger people. So I appreciate that from the publishers of this game. And man, what else I want to say about this? It's really cool having these cards all sleeved. I thought that was a nice addition, to a little bonus when we bought this game. And like I say, the more we play it, the more we find out we can do in this game. We discover more. When they change the rules up a little bit, you have to change your strategy and the way you use your champions, the way you acquire constructs and put them on your champions. And some games require that you buy a lot of cards, depending on the game, and in other ones you can get by with getting very few, trying to keep your deck as small as possible. So I really, really like this game. There's so much to explore here. And in the Kickstarter, with all the plastic pieces, it has a board that's larger than this, and I'm glad it's a small board. I mean, I really am. The larger board has places for the market. And was there something else on there? I don't know. It has a couple. It has
the cultists.
Oh yeah. And the cultists and the mystics and the heavy infantry. So it has places for all these cards to be on the board. And you don't need it. Like I say, it's a good deal. what did I say, 43, 49?
43.50.
43.50. I mean, this is a great deal. I can honestly say for once that this is a great board game deal. There's games out there. I mean, games are costing $80 and $100 a copy now. This one, for whatever reason, I don't know how they did it, but they kept it down. The board is nice. I can't find a thing to say about the production of this game to complain about. I really can't. And I usually can't find something. I mean, the box is pretty nice. It's not the best, not the thickest, but it's good enough. And it's got that linen finish on it, which is really cool. The insert, like I say, is top notch. Everything fits in there perfectly. Outer tokens are pretty. Geez, I don't know. You run around the board and you can get these treasures that are on the board, and they give you a boost of shields or movement or attack, or even a punchback where you get to if someone attacks you, you can use that token and like it has a fist on it like that. And normally you can't attack back, but when you have one of those icons, you can attack back. And it's on these treasure tokens. It's also on some of the champions that come out. I mean, it's a huge deck of cards. So there's just a lot going on.
That's why we keep discovering new things, because we haven't been through that deck and we played this game 4 times.
I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of cards in this game. And again, the rule book is excellent. I'm just impressed with it. It's a game that Lori and I normally would not even look at. Because, again, that we like Ascension and we have played that with our grandsons, we thought, hey, let's give this game a try. And you know what, you guys? You can buy this game with confidence. It's a lot of fun, and you get a lot for your money, and that's important too. So I wanted to tell you about it today. One thing I wanted to point out when you play this game that's different from the original Ascension is in the original Ascension, the monsters that come out on Market Row, you defeat them and they go into a void area. In this game, the monsters are actually champions, and they're pretty powerful. And like that one I told you about, Samuel, he's 12 attack and 12 shield. I mean, that's a pretty powerful monster. But you can acquire those monsters with command as currency rather than using command just to
Command.
Yeah, to move your heroes and to make them do their damage. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because of that. And you can acquire champions, and it's not just the monsters champions. You can acquire champions during the game also. Like I acquired this Master Dartha dragon, which is pretty cool. It has no command requirement to command. It has no requirement to command. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then these go right in front of you when as soon as you purchase them from the Market Row, they go right in front of you, and you get your character standee and put it on there, and there's Master Dartha, and then you get them into the portal and into the game. So I wanted to make sure you understood how that was one of the differences in this game from Ascension, the deck building game. Okay, so I promised I'd show you this stuff all back in the box, and it fits in there nice and neatly. This treasure bag comes with the game, and it holds your honor tokens. It goes right there. These are the standee stands. And then Lori made dividers for our cards so that you could find the starter cards, the sigils, the blue champions, and various cards like the heavy infantry and the mystic and those kinds of things, so that you can find those easily. And then all your tokens fit right in here. Your cultist tokens fit right in there. Your champions go right there. And then when you're putting the game away, it fits in there. The board fits just like that. And then the rule book and the scenario book go on top, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a pretty nice insert. And that is a pretty nice production from Stone Blade Entertainment. I thank them a lot. And that's Ascension Tactics. I think that's all I have to say about it. I love it. And I'll see you next time on The Bones Collector. I love every one of you, by the way. So have a great day board gaming. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, that was a couple of games out of our library that we wanted to share with you. We're doing this video series to show you in depth, a little more in depth about the games that we have in our library and what it's like to play them, so that you can take a look at them physically, what they look like on the table. And also I wanted to tell you that these videos probably don't come out as often or as frequent as I would like them to, because we're very busy. We have lives that we continue on with, and with grandchildren and so forth, and children that we have, and so we're very busy in that regard, like you guys are. And I don't ask for money. I don't get paid for this at all. Lori and I just do this because we want to share our passion. The only payday that I get is when you comment on the videos. That's my payday. That's the type of things I really like that make me feel good. It goes way beyond a monetary reward. And thank you for those comments, and please keep them coming. We'll try to get back to you as often as we possibly can. I love every one of you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And always remember to keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the planet. Bye-bye.